Good morning, my artsy family. Welcome to our regular scheduled Monday 11 a.m. live. I am Ken Johnson, your thrifty apprentice, and hopefully I have a really decent live plan for you today. If you are catching the live on replay, welcome replay crew. Don't forget to jump into the comment section and let me know that you caught the video or the live, should I say, on replay. Well, in your case, it'll be just a video playback. And be sure to let me know what you thought of today's content. So here we go. We are breaking into, yes, do not talk about my the bag I got it tied up in. It's a Jerry's Autorama bag, if that makes it any better. So it's in an art bag. Last year, 2023, I'm going to be sure to link this video in the video description, or you can check it out on the DIY playlist in the thrifty community. I put together what's known as a fine art advent journal. The idea behind it was to have, I think I did 12 days of random art supplies, just like you would be doing an advent calendar. So basically, it's my version of an advent calendar. So let's take a look. Now, here's my plan. Throughout the month of December, during our live, we are going to be using this advent journal in order to do our art creations. So here is the advent journal that I created last year. Let me see if I can get a front look of it here. It's so you guys can see everything that's going on with it. So took a little metallic paint, designed a really pretty simple cover. We called it the Thrifty Fine Art Advent Journal. We made it in December of 2023, and we made it for this year, which is 2024. Just like I started it out, just like I would a sketchbook or a junk journal, covered it with fabric, did all the dilly dads and the doodly dots for it, and then we created 12 individual envelopes, which we bound into the journal and put numbers on the front to correspond with the art day that they were supposed to be representing. All right, so here's my plan. Here's what I'm gonna do. This thing is, it's pretty gapy mouth here. So I'm gonna kind of ruin it. I'm not gonna do 12 consecutive days of video where we open each day and then we create with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open the entire thing right here, right now, and look at the art products that comes in all 12 days. And then throughout the remaining of this month, during our live on Monday, we will be using the supplies that were pulled from the Art Advent Journal in order to make things. Might not be every live. It might only be a small section of the live, but we will be creating with the things that come out of the Advent Journal. So, I am going to grab my little clipboard here. And this clipboard is the stuff that I've been storing, the things that we're making our upcoming water-soluble art journal in. Don't worry, we're almost there for that video. How long is this live been on? We went on at 11. Is it going on 1? It's almost 2. Oh, wow. And I'm going to be packing the supplies from here into here just to make it a little bit more workable, right? All right. So let's get the crack-a-lacking here. Let's start with Advent Calendar or Journal Day 1. I'll show you what the inside panel looked like. I really enjoyed making this. And we'll pop open envelope 1 and let's see what we had for day 1. Speaking of Master's Touch gouache, right? Day 1, we have a tube of titanium white Master's Touch gouache. So just in case anybody was wondering what those gouache tubes look like, here we are. All right. So that's in day 1. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and the thing about Advent calendars that kind of you know, sometimes you have to get a week in to open the doors before you have enough supplies to really start creating something. Typically, you have to like open one day and then use other art supplies that you have to augment it until you finally get enough open from the calendar to only use the products from the calendar. Which is why I just kind of in my mind feel like it's more conducive to just open them all from the beginning, right? Okay, so that was day one. Here's the envelope for day two. See what it looks like. We're gonna pop open day two. And inside our envelope for day two, I don't remember what I put in here. I really don't. And it was products that I don't use on a regular basis, so I would definitely be sure to forget about them. We have Endurance Academy Crimson Red watercolor paint. Okay. Okay. So there's a titanium white, Master's Touch. There's a Endurance Academy Crimson Red. Okay. Cool. Let's move on to opening day three. I'll show you what that envelope looks like. I'm going to pop that open. And let's see what's inside that envelope. What do we have here? Oh, there's a half pan. There is a half pan of Winsor & Newton Cotman's Ultramarine Blue. Okay. Well, at least I was smart enough to put paints at the beginning. To put paints at the beginning, right? That's exciting. So here we have a titanium white, crimson red, ultramarine blue. Okay. It's only 12. Yeah, it's only 12 days. So it's going to be interesting to see what all this ended up being. Here's the envelope for day 4. We'll pop that one open. And on the inside we have, we have a lot. Let's see. What's this? Oh. Nice. Is that it? Okay. That's it. So inside day 4, there is an eraser, a pencil sharpener, and a HB and a 2B pencil. So 4 days in, we have a white, a red, a blue. Okay. We have a pencil that we can draw and sketch and illustrate with. And you guys know I like graphite in my stuff. We have an eraser to fix mistakes. And we have a pencil sharpener to sharpen our pencils. So, not bad. Not bad. I honestly did not remember. I honestly did not remember what was in this stuff. I didn't. Okay, let's move on. This is actually exciting to me. It's been a year since I've seen any of this stuff. Day 5. That's the envelope for day 5. Let's pop that open. And friends, while I'm thinking about it, if you are here, please sprinkle a little love and go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Share it if you choose to, please. All right, day 5. I love the paper I use to make these envelopes with. So day 5 we have, oh wow, okay. Day 5 we have a set of watercolor pencils. These are Faber-Castell Gold Faber Aqua watercolor pencils, which is a pretty decent student grade, set of watercolor pencils, and it looks like I gave myself a pretty robust palette there. There's a brown, looks like 2 reds, a green, a blue, a yellow. So definitely a primary, almost like a little palette there, actually. A black. So between day 1 and day 5, we actually have enough to go ahead and create a composition with here, the truth be told. But we're going to go ahead and crack open the rest of this to see what we have. All right. Let's see. That was day 5. Let's flip over to day 6. That's the envelope for day 6. Pull it open. What do we have inside here? A water brush. Because we do need a paintbrush to paint with, right? A water brush. That's so cool. All right. Let's go ahead and flip over to day 7. Pop that one open. Ah, finally we get to an actual sketchbook. All right, let's stop right here. So this is just one I threw together in the background. It's got a, this is so kooky and whimsical. It's got an orange on the front. I found that paper really hard to illustrate on, but I used it anyway. Oh, it's got a little rose stamp on the back of this. What is this? Mixed media paper? I can't remember what type of. No, that's just cardstock, I think. So maybe it was meant for me to use watercolor pencils on. I don't know. It's made from a white paper bag. I do remember that. It's made from a white paper bag. On the inside, what was this? Okay, we just had a little area that folded down. So create on that had already had some what do you call it? Um, oh, I can't think of the word. Embossing on it. It looks to be made from that universal mixed media pad paper, mixed media paper from Jerry's Autorama. I think that's what this is bound with. And it's just a paper bag that I stuck a piece of cardboard inside and just made a little sketchbook. And then I just started getting crazy. You know, I was adding pockets. Got a pocket there, got a pocket there, got a pocket there. So that's actually 3 pockets. Then it's got a pocket on the very back. I don't know. It was just something to throw in this advent calendar. But yeah, we're gonna try to create on it. The mixed media paper from Universal is pretty decent. So, all right, that was day 7. Let's move on to day 8. That's the envelope for day 8. Pop that open, and looks like we have another gouache tube. This one is black. Okay, black gouache. All right. Let's see. Anything else in there? No. Let's move on to the next one. Day 9. Pop open that envelope. And we have a white acrylic marker. Yeah, that's going to need a lot of shaking because it's just been laying there separating for a year. Hopefully it's going to work pretty decent. Then we got a white acrylic marker for highlights. That'll help out with the titanium white gouache. Real nice, real nice. Oh, wait, there's something else in there. Oh, red acrylic marker. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. We're going to grab number 10. Pop and open number 10. We get another Cotman half pan. This is lemon yellow. So we have a lemon yellow. Okay, so there are our primaries in watercolor. We have some different stuff going on in watercolor pencils. Wasn't a bad selection, actually. I mean, you know. Day 11. Day 11. Let's pop that open. Day 11, and we ended up with, what do we have here? A black fine liner and a white gel pen. Okay. Black fine liner, white gel pen. We'll roll with that. Anything else in there? No, that seems to be it. All right, and we are down to day 12. Day 12. All right, I'm gonna pop this open. And what is this? Day 12, we have a fountain pen? Yes, we have. Oh, that's cool. That is so cool. All right, and that's day 12. Well, let's close that up. There is our Advent journal. So I could restock it for next year. It does have 2024 there. Nothing, no big deal, but I could restock it or I could just sit it on the shelf. I can use this for ephemera storage. It'll be great with all these envelopes for ephemera storage. You can use it to store your 5x7 paintings in. So this is a wonderful little journal idea. Like I said, I'll be sure to link how to make this in the video description. The signatures are all envelopes. And I haven't decided if I want to use this same idea for 2025's advent calendar or what. But as of right now, who knows? Maybe for 2025 advent calendar, instead of putting supplies in, I'll actually make it a watercolor advent calendar where every day will have a different prompt, and the prompt will tell you what medium you have to use to create it. I think that would be really cool. That might be what goes into effect for 2025's advent journal. I'm gonna think about that. All right, so in day 12, I had what looks to be a fountain pen with a couple of different nibs, and a black and a blue and a brown ink. So these are the things that were included inside our advent journal. I am going to open this up and drop these things inside. So these are the things we're going to be creating from. Now, you can grab whatever watercolors or whatever gouache or whatever you want to use. I'm probably going to need a palette for those half pans, huh? I don't know if I'll use all of this stuff all the time, but we will see, right? So let's see what we're gonna what we should do today. Let me grab here. Let's go. This is sitting here. Let's create something real quick. I mean, that's why you guys really come to the lives, right? I'm just gonna flip through here. I just want something to Christy's going to be talking about this book soon on her channel, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I've talked about this book several times. Most of you guys know how I feel about this book already. It's got pretty decent projects in it. The pages in the book are meant to be painted on, but yeah, it's more cardstockish than anything, and definitely not the best paper. Oh, another donut. That should be pretty easy, straightforward, right? But we probably shouldn't do the donut on this paper. We should probably do the donut on, I don't know. Here's a little sketchbook that was included. So let's see, how do I do this, friends? I need to get some organization about this. I'm gonna grab a compass because I am not the best at making a circle. I want to make sure I don't go too far outside. Yeah. Okay, that looks about right. Move it down a little bit so donut won't be too far at the top of the paper. All right. There's one circle, and we will just kind of ivy one in the middle. Now it would help to kind of draw it in the air, but I'm gonna try to gauge keeping this even. It might not work. You know what? See, let me use my eraser. And why am I using that pencil? I shouldn't be using that pencil. We're using stuff from the Art Advent Calendar, which means I need to sharpen my sharpness HB. Hold your ears. Well, there we go. And I guess I should have used that pencil sharp. Ooh, I need that. That hole is big enough to sharpen watercolor crayons in. I've been looking for a pencil sharpener that would allow me to sharpen my Caran d'Ache crayons and get a point. And then you can just put the shavings inside a palette and paint from the shavings, making a half pan palette from it. I'm glad I have this. I really, really am. Okay, let's take this out. I like the white erasers because they are much softer on your art papers than any other erasers are. I know some people like kneaded erasers. You know, I like those too, but I'm gonna see if I can put this in it with this compass. Where it'll be in the middle. I don't know how center I'm gonna get this. We're gonna sketch in just a little of it to see. Yeah, I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. All right. Let's see. And then there is a little of the rim showing because, all right, we have icing. That's a big old donut hole. What am I doing? Why don't let me make that hole that big? Somebody should have jumped in the comments and said, Thrifty, that donut is crazy, dude. Why is the hole so big? Let me see. And that's not quite as wide as I want it to be. Yeah, I'm looking for something to draw a circle. I am. I don't, my hand doesn't work well with circles. It kind of is what it is, and I'm okay with that. What am I doing? I don't have anything. Do I have a quarter laying around anywhere? You know? For goodness sake. Is that too big? No, that's not too big. We're going to use the bleed proof. Is that centered? I don't know. Donuts aren't perfect either. We'll pretend it is. There. That's better. Alright. So, we got our icing hanging over the rim here. I'm using this to draw. And it's going to go up and in here. And you're going to get jagged donut icing all around his edge. Where you can see the brown. Some of it come in different areas. Back over to the point where got it hanging off the end there. Okay. And then you're going to also have it stop short on the inside because you're going to be able to see the brown from the donut here. There. We're going to make that work. All right, let's see what we have from our advent calendar, what we're going to be doing here. Do we have a brown? I don't know if we have a brown, my friend. We might have to make one. That looks like a red brown. It's orange, definitely. Let's go with this pink icing. I really got me to, okay, so I need to put out a little bit of the watercolor. Trying to get a palette where I can, here's one. I'm working on the video for Wednesday, and I've been swatching some stuff over here, but I'll use this palette, and we will put down just a dab of the red there. Okay, and I'm going to grab a brush just had a few seconds ago. Here we go. I'm using a 1/4-inch dagger. You use whatever you want if you decide to. This is gonna be easy. You draw a couple of circles. Of course, I had to use a compass. If you had a if you have a compass and you need to use it, use it. You know, I use rulers to draw straight lines as well. No shame in my game. All right, I'm gonna make that light. I cannot remember how this paper reacts to water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wet our icing. I do know it's not gonna hold water. It's gonna dry quick. It's a mixed media paper. So whenever you're trying to do a wet and a wet wash on a mixed media paper, you have to move super quick because they don't have as much sizing as most watercolor paper. So it's going to dry much quicker. And I actually want sort of a blended technique. So I'm just wetting this down pretty well. Well, not too, it's not like super wet, but you get the point. All right, and then I'm going to grab the red and start putting it in, keeping in mind that I want all of this in here more pinky. Everything in this area around the brown, it's gonna be more pinky, is where we'll have more of the highlights at. And then the area towards the outside is gonna be more red than pink, friends. It's just how it's gonna be. Like so there. This entire area around here is gonna be pink. And it's gonna stay heavy till we get to about where it runs off of the donut. I did not erase my graphite lines. Please feel free to do so if you want. Then I'm gonna grab water and angle that sketchbook a little bit. Go up against the paint I added so that it blends down. Come on around. Come on around with it. And I still want it a little bit heavier in this area. So we're gonna add some more red. And of course, whenever you're using something as a reference photo, like I always tell you guys, you don't have to do it exactly like the reference photo. Now, there's going to be much more of a dry shift between this and what you would normally see me doing. As I said earlier, this is a mixed media paper, so it's going to be a little different. I'm not painting. You guys know I normally let my paints dry down and all that good jazz and all that jazz. And it's okay for it to be heavier in some spots. It's kind of how you want it. That jazz. Now I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head. All right. Quite the same. See if I can just drop. I'm just gonna now go around and just drop some red in different spots and let it run and do what it wanna do. All right, I think I'll let that be cool for right now. It's gonna end up with sprinkles on top. Next thing we need to do is go in and add in the brown for our donut. But honestly, we can't do that right now because the red is still wet. The great thing is it doesn't take mixed media long to dry. I'm gonna put that to the side for a second. We'll check comment section and see what's going on, what you guys talking about, who decided to draw a donut, who's working on a donut with me. Let me open these up. I'm gonna go ahead and open these while I'm waiting. This is the ultramarine blue and the lemon yellow. Is it lemon yellow? Yes, lemon yellow hue. And Cotman paints are really decent. Cotman, Van Gogh, De La Roni Aquafine. Honestly, I like De La Roni Aquafine better than Cotman. I don't necessarily like them better than Van Gogh, but I don't dislike them compared to Van Gogh. But when it comes to legacy brand student grade paints and their actual branded student grade paints, I'm a bigger fan of De La Roni's Aquafine, although they say that they target the professional market with those. I'm a bigger fan of De La Roni Aquafine than I am of Winsor & Newton Cotman or Royal Talon's Van Gogh. One, because they're just as transparent. Two, because they are so much more economical. And when you swatch them all out side by side, you cannot actually see a huge difference in the formulations of the paint. Now, of course, there are going to be different filler amounts from paint formulation to paint formulation. This is just something you're going to get when it comes to student grade products. But of the three, and this is just my opinion, I prefer the Aquafine over Cotman or over Van Gogh. That's just me. Everyone's not going to feel that way. Let's check the comments here. In love with the clipboard. They're like $9.99. I'll try to remember to link it in the video description. Once I actually edit this live, because it's gonna take quite a bit of editing. We've been on for a good minute. Day 5 watercolor pencil is a color party in the envelope. Yep, that's pretty much a whole color palette from the pencils. You can do quite a bit with just those. Still really starting to learn how to use watercolor pencils thanks to Thrifty Tips. Yep, you gotta there's a watercolor pencil demo playlist on the channel that you can check out. It's a lot of watercolor pencil videos in there. It's got tips throughout all those videos. Still trying to figure out what mixing white is really for. There's a good question. So you have Chinese white, which is a mixing white, versus titanium white, which is your more opaque covering white. And those are going to be formulated different in watercolor versus gouache. Okay, in watercolor, your Chinese white is what's known as your mixing white. It's used to make, and see, we're finna get into a lot of color theory and art history here, so I'm gonna see if I can put it in a nutshell. Okay, so Chinese white, commonly known as mixing white, is normally used to mix into your standard watercolor paints in order to give them what's known as body. It actually used to be called body paint. Not paint meant to actually go on the physical body, but body paint because it gave more robustness and wholeness to a color when added to a composition. You also find mixing white being used to be mixed into your regular watercolors in order to give them pastel tones and shades. If you notice that when you mix a Chinese white into your colors, it lightens it and takes it more towards a pastel tone. It's actually a really cool way to experiment with making pastel colors before buying a pastel um, set. Now, titanium white, on the other hand, is a more opaque covering white. Titanium white is what you will see people using, literally trying to push forward the color white itself. Now, like Chinese white, when you mix it into your regular watercolors, and all this is just based on my knowledge and experience. Again, I will recommend that you listen to someone else that you may trust to see if, you get two of the same or two different opinions on it. But titanium white, like Chinese white, can be mixed in, but it really gives a bolder tone. Because, adding white to a color makes a tone, adding black to a color makes a shade. So when you're adding white to a color, you're making a tone of that color. And titanium white makes more of an opaque tone. It's going to really take that watercolor more so towards painting with an opaque watercolor than a Chinese white will. Now, Chinese white is also what you find used as the white pigment as a filler in most of your paint formulations. Um, Sometimes titanium white as well, depending on what brand it is. And then some companies don't even disclose the fact that there is a white in the paint, but most times it's there. Um, so, and titanium white would be something that would lean more so towards, doing a highlight with if you were trying to do a highlight with a white paint. Although most of us just opt for like a gouache or an acrylic paint pen. Um, Chinese white is going not Chinese white, but titanium white, when swatched out beside Chinese white, will actually appear whiter on white paper. So your mixing white or your Chinese white in general is used to turn your regular watercolors a pastel tone or to give them more body, more milkiness, so that it seems more tangible on the page. Hopefully that helped. That may not have been the greatest explanation in the world, but hopefully that helped. Um, that's a big donut hole. I fixed it. That's still a big donut hole, but it was bigger at first. You can use a string attached to a pencil or ruler with a hole. Yeah, yep, absolutely. Yep, to help with circle making. Absolutely. There's so many different ways. Or you can just wing it and not care because it's a donut and it's not supposed to be perfect. So the center hole might not necessarily be perfect. So, you know, I might need to pull out the hair dryer. Let's see. Do I have, let's grab, this looks like, I don't know, like a burnt sienna color. And I'm gonna go in and start to color in my donut. Now, I might want to, you know, shade that, add some darkness and some oomph to this brown. So mixing a little blue into the brown actually won't hurt because the blue is going to help darken the brown. And of course, you could always use a really, really dark orange for this. And add blue into the orange as well. And for the really, really dark brown, I think we may end up using like a black for shadow. We'll see when we get there. I'm still waiting on the red to dry. You sure can. You sure can, Callie. You sure can mix your whites and make a pastel shade of your regular watercolors. Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, actually has quite a few videos on her channel where she shows people how to use white and add it to their regular watercolors in order to make pastel tones. And she's painted in those videos, have like tropical beaches painted in it. Definitely go check that out. I think that'll be a wonderful resource for what you're trying to do. I remember when I first received these pencils, when I first bought these pencils and used them and tested them, it was back during the very beginning of my watercolor pencil game. I was so fascinated with these pencils. I thought they were like the bee's knees. Um, of course, as time went on, I understood that, they were just decent quality. But when I first got them, I was so in love with them. They are really decent quality pencils. I don't know, they're expensive for what they are compared to other, like, you know, student grade watercolor pencils on the market. And it's probably because they're Faber Castell, of course. I'm just adding another layer of color pencil to this because, of watercolor pencil to this because I'm remembering how this pigment dissolves. And I just know I need another layer. Might as well go ahead and knock it out the way now. It was not my intention to do a donut today, but hey, that's what the book opened to, so that's where we are. And these books are great for quick inspiration when you don't really want to have to think of a composition. I definitely don't suggest painting on the pages in that book because, in all honesty, they're kind of terrible. Um, Not really conducive, especially for it to be a beginner watercolor book. So, like if you got that book, I would definitely suggest using the lessons in it, but definitely grabbing you a pad or a block of like Academy paper because Academy paper is pretty cheap. And I think Academy also or Bohong also makes um what is that? The Meeden 100% cotton paper, but Meeden charges more for it because they have to white label it. So you actually get it more economical under the Academy or Bohong brand. But just a little FYI, I'm gonna grab the blue pencil because I'm trying to. I don't want to have to wet the paint, right? And what I want to do is go in and add blue to some of these areas to help make that brown darker in that area. And it's definitely going to be under the highlight. Under the what do you call this thing? The icing. Y'all know what I'm saying. This is a great way to learn to work with a limited palette too. Because what I'm going to do is go back. And this is also a true testament to how much you can throw at this paper. Now, if you're close to a Jerry's or if you frequent Jerry's, if you shop at Jerry's, um, this is a decent all-around paper. I have several sketchbooks that I've listed on my site for sale and that some of you have purchased and bought and used. I'm pretty sure Tisa has, if she's here. that was bound with this paper. Let's see. Where else do I want that in here? I don't know how this gonna blend out, but we're gonna find it. We're gonna find it out in a second. And mostly all of this is shadow. Definitely all around the icing. Truth of the matter is, I really don't need to blend the pencils out. I'm gonna do it for the sake of argument, but you can actually, I mean, if you look at the composition, I don't really need to. I don't really need to blend them out. It's kind of coming along fine like it is. But when in doubt, use blue for your shadow. Yep, when in doubt, it'll help. It'll help shade most colors. It really will. You will find that blue will help turn most colors into a shade of themselves. Let's see. And then it's definitely sort of like on the edge here, and then it kind of blends up into that part of the donut where you can see. Okay, and then it will probably help. I'm gonna grab, I could mix the orange and the blue together, but you know what? We have the black watercolor pencil, so we're just going to use it. And I'm gonna use that to sort of give a bit of shadow to my donut. Now I guess I could have used the black for shadow and the brown, but I didn't really want to. I'm gonna go ahead and grab, I want something tiny here. I'm gonna use a number 2 round golden Teflon brush, and I'm just gonna go in, wipe as much water off of it as I can, and start to blend these pencils. Now keep in mind that too much water is the enemy of any of your water soluble stick mediums. Too much water will lift the pigment off the paper instead of blending it. So I do have a rag, a studio rag in my hand, and as I rinse my brush, I'm wiping the excess water off of it before taking it over to the paper and trying to blend the brown. And let me see if it's gonna blend this. Okay, so it does. It's gonna activate the blue. I don't know if I need something a little bit. All right, switching again to the 1/8 dagger brush. I feel like this is just gonna help me cover a little bit more area. Maybe move a little bit more. Yeah, yep. That's what we're talking about. Blend a little bit more pigment, a little easier. Makes much quicker work of that than that number 2 was. And I'm basically blending the brown part and then going directly into the blue part. Brown part directly into the blue part. Now, you will notice as you blend with watercolor pencils, or crayon sometimes, that as you're blending, the brush pushes a line of color towards the outline of whatever you're working on. You can actually use that to your advantage because you can help it compound color around the outline of something that may need shadowing, like I'm doing here. It kind of pushes that brown into the blue pigment. Tisa, what's up? Hello, love. Glad you made it over. I started to do a flower on y'all, but I thought to myself, if I do one more flower, they gonna yell at me. You gotta do some compositions other than flowers, Ken. And since it's not a pre-recorded video and I don't have time to really just quote unquote work on it. Now you see that activating that brown pigment really made this stand out. Let's see. Let's do the inside here. Now this is gonna be a little bit more interesting because I have got to try to keep the brown and the blue separated from the black that I put down. I should have actually left a white line of color in between the end of the donut and me putting down the black for the shadows. So more than likely what's going to happen is I'm going to use a white gel pen to add that back in when I need to, so that it doesn't look so messy right there. All right, I'm actually gonna go ahead and activate that black pigment. That is, I put down for the shadow. And hopefully, that reminds me, I actually need to go to Whole Foods to drop off a package that I'm returning to Amazon. All right, let's go ahead and see where we. Yep, see, and I love the fact that the paper dries so quick. That's cool. So maybe we will actually be using this little sketchbook for all of our little advent journal, our little advent journal paintings. I love this thing. I really, really do. I've got to find a way to reuse it now. I have to. I have to find a way to reuse it. I absolutely love it. Maybe I'll just put a sticker over there, change it to 2025, and then go with that ideal about the instead of putting art supplies in it, put in the cards that have, oh, I know. Oop, that's a video. I can't give that away. That's gonna be a good video. Okay. That'll be coming up towards the end of December, preparing the Advent Journal for 2025. Oh yeah, that's gonna be so cool. All right, where were we? I want to try to put down, like I said, I need to leave a little white sliver in between the actual donut and its shadow. That way you can actually see that it has a shadow. I was channeling my Maya Angelou then. Don't know why. While the cage bird sings. Just to get a little shadow. To get it with a little shadow. Alright. Do I need a little shadow to show that it's grounded? Let me see. The light coming from that way, so we would have shadow on this side. I don't know why that's a habit that my light source always seems to end up on the left side of my paper. Maybe it's because I'm right-handed. Don't know. Could be. Don't know. Could be. I'm using black. Not something I would normally do. But we're going to make this work. That's the great thing about having limited supplies. This is a great way to grow, friends. Put yourself within the constraints of limited supplies. Pick something to create and only allow yourself to use those limited supplies to create it. Right? Might not turn out to be the greatest thing in the world, but you will definitely learn a lot from the experiment. Right? Does that look like a shadow? Let me see. I have to turn it around. And I gotta wait on. Yeah, it'll work as a shadow. I had to wait on the live on my end to catch up so I could see how that shadow was turning out. Make it as big as you want. Alright, I'm gonna get that shadow done in, and then we're gonna put some sprinkles on, and that'll wrap up the little first quick what are we doing? Advent calendar? Yeah, it'll wrap up. What did I do with the other brush? Here we go. It'll wrap up the little advent calendar thing that we doing. Now, I still need to get off of here and post. I have no idea what we're doing in Creation Station tonight. So I need to be, when I get off of here, that's what I'll be working on. Figuring out what we are going to paint, what we're going to create in the Creation Station tonight. I mean, I have a couple of ideas, but I haven't put anything into effect just yet. But I will be making the post so that it will be at the top of the feed and easy to find for Creation Station members for tonight, my friends. We could continue to work on a Create Your Book. It's something different. Or we might have you know what? We may actually have ourselves a good old unboxing, swatching, and painting demo go down tonight in the Creation Station. So I can start testing some more of these products that are ahead of the different things I showed you today. Because we did recently get that Schminker Academy Slim 10. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited about opening that. I have some Holbein paints that we still need to get to. And I've never painted with Holbein paint, so I'm really excited to see what those are going to be like. So, let's see what else. I might do an extra painting. You know what? That's what I might do. I might use the Medici. So this Wednesday coming out, we have a unboxing, swatching, and demo of the Medici 24 full pan paint set. If you do not know what that is, I'll give you a sneak peek of what the palette looks like. This is what the palette looks like. They put you in the mind of Gansé pens, but they are not Gansé paints. They are not formulated, produced, or made in Japan. This is a Chinese paint, and if I'm not mistaken, Lightwish is selling this on their Lightwish might be selling this on too. I think I do remember seeing this on their site. But this is the Medici 24 watercolors, which I have swatched them all out, both on a regular swatch sheet and on the swatch sheet that's actually included inside their box, which is actual watercolor paper. Catch that, right? So I have unboxed, swatched. I'm already working on the video. The video that comes out Wednesday for these paints will be a one-stop shop. You will see us unbox them and swatch them and do a painting demo and then go into an actual review. So just so I have a little bit more experience with the paints under my belt before I wrap up that video, I may actually use these in the creation station tonight to try to create something. So we will see. We'll see. Plenty that we can do in the creation station. Plenty that we can do. Okay. I am blending shadow. Blending shadow is what I'm doing. So that we can get to putting these sprinkles on and call this a day. Call this an illustration. Now that shadow actually helped close the donut hole up a little bit, just in case it was too wide for some minds. I want to see these applesauce donuts, you know. I'm real curious now. I'm gonna have to see if I can find a recipe to make applesauce donuts. Okay, let's see. Is this dry enough for us to put some? Yeah, I guess it might be dry enough. I don't know if the watercolor pencils are gonna really hold. I could put red and white. Guess what I can do? I can do red and white sprinkles. Now, I hope these paint pens are worth something. I think they came out of the... All right, let's see. Oh, Nicole, the pastel paintings of the dogs are gorgeous. Oh my goodness. You have been watching Christy, haven't you? With those animals. Oh, Nicole, those are so good. Those are so good. Oh, he's so adorable. Such detail. Can I show him? Can I show him right quick? Let me know. Let me know. You guys know I like to showcase stuff that you guys do. Oh, okay. So these have already, looks like they've already been primed. Okay. So let's see. So this is an acrylic paint pen that I'm gonna try to add these sprinkles with. Let me get a blank piece of paper so I can, what we call, prime these. may have to pump the, well, I don't know, friends. This paint pen is the part of the Norwood. Is that what they were? I think it came out of that Norwood set. Uh-oh. I don't know. We might not get anything out of there. Ooh, Nicole made pumpkin bread. Yeah, Laura, we still here, love. Hopefully your Zoom meeting went well. Okay, so maybe not with the paint pen. Now that sucks. Nothing wants to come out. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. I would have really been upset if I had got that in an advent calendar. Let me just tell you. Or maybe a year is just too long. Alright guys, so let me just go ahead and switch over to trying to use watercolor pencils because we need to go ahead and wrap this up. And I'm just gonna go around and put little, I don't know, I call them little corn dogs. It's almost like you're drawing on the top of a cat's tail for my sprinkles. That's how I do them. You know, everybody's different. Baby, somebody just went down my Instagram liking everything. Thank you, whoever that was. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do. I am so seriously trying to build that Instagram following. Oh my goodness. It is so hard. And, you know, a lot of companies use your Instagram page to decide whether or not they want to use you for sponsorship. And here's the catch-20. If you don't have a lot of followers, most companies, regardless of how good your artwork is, they won't work with you. You know? Did you guys know that? That's why you don't see a lot of small content creators doing a lot of, you know, work with companies. Because if you don't have a following, a large enough following, companies don't want to work with you. They don't feel like it's conducive to be giving you their product to review and no one's going to be watching. Which, I mean, that's understandable, I guess. But at the same time, it kind of sucks. Same on Insta. You can find, just like here, Defyantarts, the Thrifty Apprentice. If you type in the Thrifty Apprentice, I'm sure it'll pop up. But yes, please, if you are not following me on Insta, I'm really asking that you do, whether you're live or whether you're watching in replay, because getting that Insta, because I don't know why it's like companies go on Instagram looking for the people they want to use versus YouTube, you know, which is kind of cray-cray. I'm gonna put this yellow down. I don't know if that's gonna really show up. Let me see. Let me put it on the lighter areas to make sure that it definitely shows up. Sound like Corinthians has made it home. Yeah, Tisa, I shook them up. I did. Laura, you like those swatch illustrations? Those swatch illustrations are a part of Christy Rice swatching stamp set. So this was those I make most of my professional paints get swatched inside the color diary, and I make the individual swatching pages for most of the student grade paints. So I made that one for the Medici paints that I was using. That's enough sprinkles, huh? That's enough. You get the point. And don't necessarily have to even like blend them out at all. Actually, I don't think I'm going to. I kind of want to keep the saturation of the pencil there. I think that's kind of cool. Why is that? Oh, that's on my screen. Because I better not be on my donut. All right. So there's something really quick and easy here. We use watercolor pencils for the most part. And everything that came out of the advent calendar. One more time, let me just show you in case you forgot. This is what that advent calendar looked like. I made it last year. We packed it full of all these goodies. And I'm probably going to be, so here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. For 2025 Advent Journal, I'm probably going to make another one for a completely different idea for 2025. And then for this one, I may fill it with 12 days of prompts as a giveaway. I haven't decided on it yet because I really like this journal. It took quite a bit of time to bind all 12. I had to make 12 different envelopes and bind all of it in. It was really cool. Like I said, I'll try to remember to link that video in case anybody wants to know how to make that. But there is the actual little donut that we did today. Nothing too grand, you know, just something quick because this video was full of stuff. Oh, let me put the red paint in there. I want to make sure I have everything in there. And I actually want to put let's see, do I have something that I can put? I think I do. I think I do. Put my little, this used to be a little travel palette that I had something in. I can't remember what it was. There we go. Just to have something to keep those in. It'd be nice if I had to put a red in there, but I'll put this in for the red. Maybe I'll pan it and put it in the middle just for the sake of, but there. And then I'll just throw in a credit card scraper because we never know when we're going to need it. There is, let me try to get these, but that's there. Let's just get that on screen first so everyone can take a look. I know it wasn't super complicated, but it is something really easy, something you can do. Get yourself kind of warmed up for a day of painting or what have you. Real cool, real easy. Yeah, so that is what we created with the things that we opened and that came out of the our advent calendar, or our advent journal, should I say. So we've gone through things that went on previous in the week. I hope you guys go back and catch some of those videos. I'll be sure to link everything that I'm recommending in the video description. Do keep in mind it will take 1 to 2, so 24 to 48 hours before the live replay is ready. That won't have all of the, you know, chats and talking, to kind of get straight to the point of what the live was today. So be sure to check those links. If you don't want to wait on the links, then go check out the last 2 video releases on the Thrifty Apprentice channel. So you can catch a comparison between the Viburnum Arts and the Hemi. And you can also catch us wrapping up the very last week of Thrifty Pastel Month. This Wednesday, coming up, we are going to have the full onslaught video for the Medici 24 watercolors. And then this upcoming Sunday, it is my hope to go ahead and drop that water-soluble junk journal video. If you are not a crafter, do not shy away from this video because it is full of water-soluble ideas and tricks that you can carry over into your fine art. I do believe that arts and crafts are put together for a reason because they walk hand in hand. And most artists are crafters in some way, and most crafters in some way touch on art. So we went through the release of all of the new products that have been blessed to the studio by Deca. Again, to all members of Deca, new, old, present, past, future. Thank you so very, very, very much for all of your support and the things that you constantly do to make sure that this studio is supplied with things for us to share. What else did we knock out? We knocked out the painting. And yeah, that's it, friends. It has been my pleasure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please share the video if you care to, because it is going to help push it in front of other wonderful viewers like yourself. Once the live replay is ready and going, the video description will be full of relevant links, including the link to paints, pencils, pastels, and markers. I am constantly encouraging you guys to check out the Defiant Art website. The links are pretty much in every video. It's going to be a treasure trove of information where you'll be able to find the latest and greatest things going on with the Defiant Art community. Patreon members, as soon as I'm off this video, I will be uploading the link for tonight's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, regularly scheduled Monday Night Live, so that will be at the top of your feed. You won't have to look for it, and I do hope to see everyone who is a part of the creation station there tonight. Please, I would love it, love it, love it, love it. With that said, thank you so much for joining me, my friends. I hope you go out and enjoy the rest of your week. Do as much painting and much creating as you possibly can. Enjoy your turkey day. I won't see you guys back until after Thanksgiving. So enjoy your holidays. And remember, as I tell you at the end of every single video, my friends, just keep creating.